Hey, what is going on, guys? It's Young here, and today I'm back in a Fortnite video. And today's video, I'm going to share with you guys the #1 setting you guys should change for this season that is going to make a huge difference on your building and editing. And I'm going to show you guys that specific setting and why you guys should change and give it a try if you are looking to get better and to improve very quickly here in this season. So definitely stay to the end of the video. And real quick, before we get into the video, up on the screen I have the V-Buck giveaway winner of this week. I give away V-Bucks every single Friday, so if you guys would like to enter the next giveaway and win a chance for some free V-Bucks, all you guys have to do is to drop a like on this video. Make sure you guys do subscribe to the channel, hit that notification bell so you guys get notified for every single new upload and when I announce the winners every Friday. And lastly, make sure you guys put down your Xbox gamer tag, your PSN gamer tag, or Epic account down in the comment section below, and you guys will be automatically entered into the giveaway. And lastly, if you guys like to support me in the item shop, all you guys have to do, go down to the bottom right, hit on support a creator, type in my creator code, which is Young Humor, and you guys will have me added and supported as a creator in the item shop. And alright guys, let's go right to the video. Alright, so in this video, I want to be sharing with you guys the #1 setting you guys should be changing this season that's going to allow you to improve, get better, and to win so many more gunfights here in this season. So here, going into my settings, I'm going to be focusing on 2 settings specifically. So here are my settings. I want to be talking about building and editing sensitivity and exactly which sensitivity you guys should play on. So here are just the sensitivities that I have. But one thing that you guys want to do, and of course it, depending on what your, horizontal and vertical sensitivity, it's going to directly change what your building and editing is. But the #1 thing that you guys want to do with your building and editing sensitivity, so when it comes to the meta in the season that I've noticed, it is strictly box fighting, and it really just heavily depends on how good you are at close range gunfights. So what I would recommend for you guys is to play on the highest editing and building sensitivity that you possibly can, that you feel comfortable on. Of course, you don't want to play on like a 3.2% or something crazy. Some of you guys actually play on this, which makes just no sense. I mean, here's just me trying to build on it, and it's absolutely terrible. So what I mean, you don't have to play on like a crazy high sensitivity at all. But what I'm trying to say is, because of how important the box meta is, and being able to box up and edit quickly, you want to play on as high sensitivity as you can without going too far. So a really good way to test is you want to just raise your sensitivity, your building and editing, by 1 point, and then just try out a little bit as far as building and editing, just to see how it feels and if you feel comfortable with it. And if you feel like you're overcorrecting too much on your builds and edits, then you want to scale back on your sensitivity. So of course, for everybody's sensitivity, it's going to be vastly different, but the main thing that you guys want to focus on is you want to make sure that you have the highest building and editing sensitivity that you can have, that you can control. And that's really the most important thing, because for me, on this sensitivity here, it feels just slightly too fast. I can still edit and build decently, but I feel like it's just a little bit outside of my range. So for me, a 2.0 and a 2.1, or a 1.9 and a 2.0 is going to be the best sensitivity that works for me. Like I said, it just depends on what you guys play on, because it's going to be different from player to player. But you want to play on the higher end of building and editing sensitivities. And for the reason being, as I said, pretty much the majority of gunfights this season are going to be centered around box fighting, quick edits, and then just shotgun shots, because the pump shotgun is a big game changer that they added this season that really makes a huge difference. And if you guys play on a little bit lower of a sensitivity, then you want to adjust your building and editing, directly to that. I used to play on when I was on a 45%, I used to play on a 2.4, which for me worked out really well. I would recommend anything above like maybe a 2 or a 2.1 as far as like the minimum you would want to go. But like I said, you really just want to find the best sensitivity that works for yourself, and you want to find a sensitivity that is fast, but a sensitivity, of course, that you can control. And when it comes to the building and editing sensitivity, I would probably hover more towards the side of control rather than speed. So if you really do feel significantly more comfortable on, say, a lower sensitivity, then I would highly recommend for you guys to play on it, because I don't think you should play on a high sensitivity if you always feel like it's out of control. You feel like you're constantly, over editing on like this. You feel like you're just constantly missing your edits, and it's just a pain to play on a high sensitivity, then by all means I think you guys should play on a lower sensitivity. But if you're able to, I would highly recommend raising your building and editing sense, because as I said, the current meta in the game is shotgun fights, SMGs, and close range. So you want to be able to build boxes really quickly and also have as quick edits as you possibly can. And if you feel like you have a hard time controlling your sensitivity, there is 2 settings you guys can change. Sometimes your replays accidentally turns on. It happens to me all the time. You want to make sure you have that setting off because it can affect your FPS, and if you play on a lower FPS, it can affect your aim drastically. So you want to make sure you have this setting off because sometimes it turns on. And then of course, the other setting you guys want to change is you want to make sure your dead zones are as low as you can have them. Of course, you don't want like crazy stick drift, but I play on a 9%. I would recommend single digits if you're able to, but if you have like an older controller, then you're probably going to have a little bit more stick drift than, say, someone who has a new controller. Not always the case, but usually that's going to be the case. So you want to find the dead zones that work for you, but lowering your dead zones is going to make everything feel a lot more responsive, and which can drastically improve your accuracy, just, building, editing, and really everything in between. So that's going to be the number 1 setting that you guys want to change for the season. You want to focus on your building and editing sensitivity, and specifically you want to play a little bit towards the higher end, but of course if you can't play on it, then just play a little bit lower. But you want to just raise your sensitivity, building, and editing by 1 point until you get to the most comfortable sensitivity for you, to where it's a little bit on the fast end, but it's not too fast where you're completely out of control all the time. So that's really the ranges in which you want to stay as far as your sensitivity. And of course, another thing to mention is when you're going to be going into games, so say you're playing like pubs or arena, even if you feel comfortable with a certain sensitivity in creative, it might not work for pubs or arena, because when you're getting shot at from multiple players, or just how you play pubs or arena in general, a lot of the times it's going to feel a lot different, and sometimes sensitivities feel a lot faster in pubs than they do in creative. So whenever you're changing your sensitivity, of course you want to give it a couple days to really get used to it, but at the same time understand it's going to feel a little bit faster in pubs, if you especially if you just change your sensitivity. And at the same time, when you're getting shot at from multiple directions and you're panicking a little bit, your sensitivity is going to feel a lot faster than before. So that is something to keep in mind if you guys are looking to change your sensitivity, because that can, really affect how you build, edit, and also aim. And just a quick tip to improve your builds and edits if you guys are looking to. My first recommendation is always to practice and learn new high ground retakes. Maybe just try to learn 1 new retake a day, or maybe just 1 every other day. Just try to learn the retake and have it to the best as you can, and then constantly just learn as many different retakes as possible, because it's going to make you a lot more capable as far as building and editing. It's going to allow you to build in ways that maybe you never thought before, or even just to improve at certain movements that are going to be a little bit weird. And also another thing to improve your editing is a lot of times when you edit, a lot of people just edit on like one of the sides. So when you're practicing your edits, you want to try to practice editing on both sides. So if you always go from the left side when you edit, then when you practice, you want to make sure you're editing from the right side as well, because there's going to be a lot of times in games where you're going to have to go for the opposite side edit if you want to be as efficient as possible. Otherwise, it's going to slow you down. So those are going to be 2 of my best tips as far as improving your builds and edits. The first one being is to learn a new retake a day, maybe every other day. Practice that retake, try to have it down as best as you can. It's really going to help your movement, your building, and also your editing. And then the second thing you want to do is you want to make sure when you're practicing your edits or even high ground retakes that you practice going off of the right side, and then you also practice going off of the left side. That way you feel extremely comfortable with builds and edits, and if you ever have to go off the other side that maybe you don't prefer, it's not going to feel as uncomfortable or as weird as before. So those are my recommendations as far as improving your builds and edits. But with that being said, that's what I put up for this video. If you guys enjoyed this video, if you guys liked it, make sure you guys do hit that like button. Make sure you guys do subscribe to the channel if you guys are new. Hit the notification bell so you guys get notified for every single new upload. And as well, I do live stream every single day here on this channel at 4:30 Eastern Standard Time. So make sure you guys hit that notification bell so you guys will get notified for every single new upload. And just a reminder, if you guys are a little bit newer, I'm not posting anymore on Tuesdays and Thursdays. Of course, I still stream, but as far as videos, I'm taking off Tuesdays and Thursdays. So if you guys are curious on why I'm not posting on those days, it's just I'm taking those days off, getting a little of a break. But with that being said, I appreciate you guys watching the video. And alright guys, I'll see you next video.